7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is my bestest friend, Irene Rojas. Irene's one of those best friends who knows where all the dead bodies are buried. But
Right, it's a saying.
Irene lives in Chile, in Santiago. So when she told me she was going to come to California to visit, I obviously immediately booked a flight. And here we are, being adults at Disneyland. I wanted to talk to Irene because Irene is actually kind of sort of the reason why I run. I want to know, you don't know anyone who runs, do you? Like, no one in your family runs.
No.
Were you running at all before you decided to run a marathon?
I would run to help with Irish dance training,
Oh, really?
but never. It was like 30 minutes or 40 on a good day.
How did you even decide you wanted to run a marathon? Because you didn't do a half marathon. You didn't do a 5K. You didn't do a 10K. You literally just decided to run a marathon
Yeah.
in college.
So, in college, when I took a break from Irish dancing, I was like, I need a sport. And then I saw a brochure, like in a taco shop for team in training. And then I originally was going to do the half because that was like what seemed possible for me. But then once we started training, I was like, no, I can do this. And then I switched to the full.
So you did it midway?
Yeah. It was like once I could see that the training was possible and that the rest of the teammates were doing fulls, it was like, I can do this too.
What was it like going from just like a casual runner to someone who was training for your first marathon?
It felt very badass, honestly. like every weekend when we would up the mileage and I knew I could do it and I would finish it, and it was just like the greatest feeling in the world.
What was your first marathon like?
I was very, very excited, and it was like really fun to tell people about it and to be with team in training. That was beautiful, a beautiful experience. I was not nervous at all because I treated the whole experience as like a fun experience. Like I ran at such a fun pace.
She still was pretty fast.
But like for me, I ran at a pace that I could like smile about the entire time. I mean, obviously there were difficult times, but it was a very fun race the entire time.
I remember we went to go cheer for Irene the day of, and we made signs, and we knew nothing about running. I'd never gone to a race before in my life. I had no idea how to make funny signs. I remember Googling funny signs to make. And I remember trying to track you, and then when we saw you and you like started to cry, and we all started to cry because we were right at the finish line. And I honestly think like that really was like the first time I went like, oh my God, I think I want to be a part of this somehow.
Yeah. It's inexplicable. Like you have to see it or feel it.
It's pretty, it's intoxicating.
Yeah. It's addicting.
Did you ever doubt yourself during that race?
No, I knew I was ready. I knew I was. I think I hit a wall at some point, but I still knew I was going to finish. I had to. You know?
Why'd you do it again?
Because that feeling of crossing the finish line is addicting. Like even when I hear you just talking about your training now and I'm not training for a marathon, I'm like, dang it, I wish I was like doing this at the same time and sharing this with you. It's just like when you talk about it, I get chills. And even when I train like for like 6 mile runs, I always think about that feeling of crossing the finish line. Sometimes I get like watery eyes.
Do you think running a marathon changed your life at all?
I think yes. Like the discipline, I think. I mean, I was already disciplined before that, like responsible. But once you finish a marathon, I think you realize that you can like commit to difficult goals and know that you can finish it and finish it well.
I agree. I think you see the world differently.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. impossible has like a new definition.
Yeah, because it's hard, and
Yeah.
then you do it, and then you're like, wait, I can do difficult things and do it well.
What do you think is the biggest mistake someone can make when they're like becoming a runner or like chasing a goal that they feel is impossible?
I don't know if it's like the biggest mistake, but it's something that really bothers me. Is like when you start talking to someone about their first marathon or a marathon that they're not confident about, and they're like, yeah, but I'm just doing it for fun. Like there's always a but after. Or maybe you are doing it for fun, but still, it's a marathon.
You don't have to qualify it.
Just be like, yeah, I'm running a marathon. Like, be proud
Yeah.
of yourself.
I'll never forget before my first marathon, which was exactly 1 year after she ran Rock and Roll San Diego. I remember calling you when you were in Chile, and you talked me off a pretty big ledge. I was so scared.
That's a big part of running that I love also, is like helping other people. That's a huge part of it. Like, everyone does it to each other.
Yeah.
And once you feel how helpful it is when someone else does it to you, like you have to.
I always talk to people during races now.
And when they start running because of you, it's like, yes,
We are doing this. We are
together.
doing this.
So beautiful.
Do you think you'll do another marathon?
Yes.
Do you have any goals?
Under 4 hours. I have to.
We should do one together. Because we've done halves together, but we've never done a full.
All right, then. Let's do it.
Irene Rojas. We're going to go get in a jacuzzi now. Thank you.